What's good? Saturday weekend. You know how it is. It's the ONORA boys in the building, brought to you by ONORA Whiskey. ONORAWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure you do so. Man, I didn't hear you, love. He said responsibly. Great weekend. Hope everybody is having a fantastic Saturday. Lucky Lefty podcast. We're having technical difficulties. He's probably gonna have to come back in, reestablish the connection. Apple Podcasts, Spotify via CFB Nation. Lock in with us, man. We appreciate you guys so much for how you continue to support us. Subscribe, share, hit that thumbs up. Hit the like button. Helps with the views, man. Then leave all your comments, questions. We respond to all. We are the home of the misguided passion, and we are always and forever committed to making sure that we continue to spin it different. If you have a GTB question, hit it up right now in the chat. We'll answer it as soon as we see it. If you have a super chat, we thank you in advance for your support. Put your super chat in and we'll get to it immediately when it pops up. So much to talk about. Practice number 3 in the books. Some things to talk about. People that have concerns about the offensive line. Of course, you're probably going to bookmark yesterday's practice. Like, see, I told you so. We'll talk about that. We're going to hear from Al Golden. His thoughts on the defense, his thoughts on the linebackers. And, you know, it's amazing that Marcus Freeman, with a very inexperienced or somewhat inexperienced offensive line, comes out day one and says, I have great confidence in our offensive line. And then you go to Al Golden, and somehow, some way, with the inexperienced linebacking core, he seems to have a great deal of confidence in his young linebackers. So to hear that from the coaches about two of the most inexperienced position groups on the team makes you feel well, makes you feel pretty good about what we're possibly going to see August 31st down in College Station. So once again, if you have a GTB question, put it in the chat. Yeah, let us know. Let us know. I want to make sure I get this. Okay, we got it right. Got it right. Letting Left come back in. Before we do that, I would like to say, in response to a question that someone posted on one of our videos regarding player comps, I just want to point this out because it was amazing as Al Golden met with the media. This was the upstairs session. There are 2 sessions. I don't know if anybody has ever told you guys that. Of course, there's the video session that we get from Notre Dame media that they put on their YouTube page. And there's another session that's held upstairs that's more direct, where the coaches and players actually sit at the table and they answer questions from the assembled media. And yesterday, I think it was MD Milton fan, as a matter of fact. Maybe, was it you, MD Milton fan? It was somebody that asked about player comps. No, it was Terrence Westbrook. It was like our Terrence Westbrook. It was Terrence Westbrook. And he was like, yo, is there anybody on the team that you can comp to a former player? And I thought about it. And I was like, yo, I would probably say Jeremiah Love is very Ricky Waterish. And lo and behold, you know, yesterday, Al Golden is talking to the assembled media, and he's asked about, you know, offensive players that have stood out to him. And he mentions Jeremiah Love. And in mentioning Jeremiah Love, he says, He reminds me of Ricky Waters. So I was like, yo, I just said that literally. That was my player comp watching practice. So yeah, so mark that down. Ricky Waters, Jeremiah Love. And if Jeremiah Love can produce at the same level as Ricky Waters, hey, the next 2 years are about to be a lot of fun.
Tell you, I'm saying George Atkinson too. I'm saying George Atkinson part 2.
Hey,
but
I'm
like
just
Ricky
telling
Waters
you,
is a great comp.
Al Golden said Ricky Waters, so I'm good. If we can get the punt return, the pass catching, and the running back, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that. So we're gonna hear from D McCulla as well. Man, let me tell you something. D McCulla gave me life because as the media, sometimes we have a tendency to pigeonhole. We're so focused on what we think, we have in mind the story we want to write. Like, I have a story. I want to write this story. So I need to get quotes on this story about this topic so I can finish my story. And we'll just hammer like the same question. Has anyone ever seen that? Like a media session where it seems like the media hammers the same question or topic, and they try to do it in various ways over and over again, just over and over again. That is something that I felt like D McCulla was able to kind of diffuse yesterday, right? And it's so refreshing to see his approach to coaching at the running back position because he is all about the group. It's a very D McCulla has a very Harry Heastand approach to coaching running backs. Like, they also move in a herd.
They travel in a group too?
Yes. And I don't know if that's similar across the nation, but when it comes to D McCulla and how he coaches those guys to move and how he operates and coaches and teaches them, they are definitely very similar to the offensive line room at Notre Dame.
But it makes sense because D McCulla is cultivated a room that's competitive. Everybody has something they can contribute to that running back room, and they cultivate that by being a unit. I mean, they seem just like the tight end group, all a part of the same thing. Each has a different quality aspect that we really appreciate. You got your Jeremiah Love as your playmaker, but your Aeneas Williams, who's probably the most versatile player, right? And then you got Jadarian Price, who's your new version of your Aldrich Estimate. Maybe a 4-minute back, but also a back that can get you some tough yards in between the tackles. So you got some speed and power, some thunder and lightning going on. But D McCulla keeping all those guys in the same room and keeping them competitive shows how there's a selfless room. And the production has been high since he's gotten there.
Man, speaking of Aldrich Estimate, man, what is that man doing out there in Denver, man? Why is he doing that to cats? And
you see him running cats over,
What is he doing?
Hey, he's trying to get that starting spot. I know that.
Yo, I'm sorry, bro. That would be a fight on the field. Like, bro, don't run me over.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, he probably don't know that the vets are probably like, hey,
like, I'm not even trying to light you up like that. You out here trying to show cats up. Like, man, come on, bro.
He'll get that vet conversation on the sideline after the play. Like, hey, I love what you're doing, but not here, not right now.
not our people. Like, do that when we go up against other teams in scrimmages.
Our team,
don't beat our team up.
Yeah, you trucking dudes and walkthroughs and half speed drills. That's not gonna go over well. Not with guys getting paid now. You know how that go. Everybody a diva. So,
man. So let's get to it. Lucky Lefty podcast, man. Just a little bit. Yesterday's practice. A lot more of the run game. A lot more to see. Defensive line. Look, we're gonna hear from Al Golden. That cat, Al Golden, man. You know what he does, Left. Al Golden is that type of individual because of his personality. He hides his excitement very well.
Yeah, you can tell. You think he's stoic on the podium, but I feel like he's not stoic in real life.
He is someone that if you get him behind closed doors, he's probably like going into the room after practice, like, rubbing his hands like Birdman behind the door. Like, I can't wait to get
Got a
down.
fool.
I can't. I got a crew. Yeah,
Got a
yeah,
fool.
yeah. I got a crew. You better.
Yeah.
I'm ready to unleash these cats. So that is one of the things that I really like about this defense and this defensive line in particular. Left the youngsters, bro. Let me tell you something, man. That cat Bryce Young in person.
He's probably he's more massive than you think. I feel like he's got that, you'll read the measurables and be like, okay, and then you see him in person and be like, you look like you're a little taller and bigger than what's on paper.
Yo, you know what? Everybody can relate to this. Have you ever gone to a family reunion or a family gathering, and it's been years since you've seen like your peeps, and all of a sudden that kid that was like that little annoying kid running around is now like you looking up at him?
I feel just like that about Jacoby Lane, the receiver from USC, who's like the 6'6" receiver. Now, when I was training, when I was at Notre Dame, he was like 5th, 6th grade, little tiny kid. He was trying to do one-hand catches like Odell, that whole thing. Fast forward now, I'm looking at him like, man, USC's number 1 right now.
Yeah.
And doing the dang thing. So it's just crazy that you get to see that develop. Maybe I'm older now. I guess I can say I'm older. I have literally seen a kid go from baby, catching and catching for me to now he's catching at USC. He's receiver 1. So yeah, he's 6'6". He was itty bitty when I was seeing him. Now he's 6'6" catching the ball. So it's crazy.
Yeah. John Massey with the GTB question. If you have a GTB question, put it in the chat. How's the team looking left? What kind of offense do you run? Hope the band director isn't still testing.
Yeah, the team's actually going to look really good. We have a nice group with a tough schedule. And the thing is that we had cleaned up a lot. We gained our respect on the field. We're not just having the band director and the girls track coach bullying us off the field anymore.
Come on, bro. You can't hate on the next Sha'Carri Richardson if she's there, bro.
But the head coach, the girls head coach, you only got like 5 or 6 girls. You know what I'm saying? You bullying the team over 5 or 6 girls. So we worked some things out, getting closer to the season, and it's crazy because the season is what 3-4 weeks away. It was good to see the Pro Bowl game on TV. You get that football feeling again, but man, the Bears looking solid, by the way.
Say that again.
The Bears looking solid. They looking solid. Yeah, the Bears.
It was the Hall of Fame game, bro.
You put no stock in anything they do good, as it sounds like.
Did you see how easy the Texans moved the ball the first 2 drives?
That's one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now, though, and a playoff team last year.
And they did that with 7 on the sideline.
David Mills was a starter the year before 7 got there.
I understand.
Case Keenum been around the league 1,500 years.
Hey, Davis Mills, let me tell you something. Davis Mills. I want to extend to you nothing but eternal blessings on you and your family for the rest of your life. If it were not for you in the last game of the 2022 season, leading that 18-point comeback, taking the Texans from the top pick to the 2nd pick, with Lovie Smith as the head coach in the last game of the season, the Bears would have never been positioned to make the trade that ultimately led to Caleb Williams. Davis Mills, you all right with me, my brother. You all right with me. That touchdown pass with 30 seconds left, you all right with me. So from me and the rest of Bears Nation to you, my brother, eternal blessings. Michael Parks said it was rigged. You might be right. You might be right. Hey, Chicago, hey, we needed something. We needed something because we don't have nothing else. There is nothing else.
Hey, I got a squad. I got a squad. I got Romo Duce. I got Keenan Allen.
It's a tough division, though, bro. It's a tough division.
The Lions, who were just got good, the Packers, who's solid, and then you got the Vikings, who are.
You hating on it. So you just really, if I don't have me get Ken Gibbs on here and have y'all argue about the darn Lions again, bro.
They're good for 1 year. I mean, I remember the days they had the bags at 0-16. So that's a recent memory. Them just getting good like they are these last 2 years. I mean,
I say that the Packers are real. I fully believe the Packers are real.
Are real in what? Like what we?
Bro, you know how long the Packers been spanking the Bears, bro?
A long time.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers said he owned you guys.
Yes. And then Jordan Love, his first start ever, comes in and throws 3 touchdowns in Soldier Field. So you can't tell Bears fans. You can sit here and analyze, and Bears fans will look at you like this. Like, I got to see it.
I got to see it.
I got to see it. I don't trust it.
They said Justin Fields is doing better than the Steelers, too.
He's finally with a real organization. Real coach.
Y'all been around the longest out of anybody.
John Buffo, the motivational business banker. Thank you for tapping in. What room needs fixing first to win a national title? Wide receivers or D-line, in your opinion? Ooh, that's a good question.
I would say D-line, because you got to stop somebody. And we can run the football, so I think D-line makes us that intimidating team that people hate to play. But receivers can get us so far. But I really think it's that D-line. We had like 3'6", 320 plus rotating players, maybe a tackle, an end, and a nose guard or something. Mm-hmm. And have everybody else, but just add 3 of those guys. I think that changes life at Notre Dame, like instantly. And you would start to see more. But having just receivers, I think you can still scoring points isn't an issue. Is big plays for Notre Dame, and it's a consistency at that D-line point. If our D-line was like our O-line, I think we would have been in championship situations. So I think D-line is what gets us to the national title and wins it. Receivers makes us gain the respect we deserve going into the postseason and the postseason. We always been mismatched at receiver in super big games. Like when we was undefeated and lost to Trevor Lawrence and them, it was T. Higgins and those boys were the difference on 2 plays.
Yeah.
The back of the end zone touchdown and the one over Dante Vaughn or what. It was 2 crazy plays.
Well covered. Dante Vaughn.
Well covered. He was there. He was on his Nick Coleman. He was right there. Everything was right except couldn't get the ball out. Yeah, that was the difference in those in terms of talent. But I think a D-line wins us that last game. Receivers gets us there. That makes sense.
From a recruiting standpoint, because he extended it to recruiting, from a recruiting standpoint, I would say it would be more impressive to return to that. I think, honestly, that's what established Notre Dame to make the run to the national championship and then, start a nice little run from 2012 to like 2018. I think it was bringing in the Stephon Tuitt's, the Lewis Nixes, the Sheldon Days, and players like that on that D-line. If Notre Dame can return to that in recruiting, I would definitely piggyback on what you just said, Left. Yeah, that would be extremely impactful. And we literally have just name a Michigan wide receiver last year, Left.
Peoples, or was that the year before?
Nah, Peoples has been in the pros for like
a year
on the Browns for like 2-3 years. Like I said, name I know one.
No, it's
Illinois.
one. They got
I know
double.
one. I know Tyler Morris because he's from the Chicagoland area.
Oh no, what's the one that just went with JJ McCarthy? He was number 6. I honestly don't know.
That's my point. I bet you can name the defensive lineman though.
Yeah,
I bet you can name the
first rounders. Yeah. That's
Chris
crazy.
Jenkins, Kenneth Grant, the Massey. Yeah, you can name the defensive lineman at Michigan before you name the wide receivers at Michigan. And so, yeah, bro, I think, remember we had the show last year early in the season, and we had Michigan as one of our top teams to watch. And people were like, Michigan doesn't have any wide receivers. They don't have any game-breaking wide receivers. And it's like, and?
Yeah. They got Blake Corum and Brian Edwards.
They have 4 top 60 defensive tackles. 4. That's Georgia-esque.
That's Georgia-esque.
That's Georgia-esque. They have 4 defensive tackles that are all going to be drafted top 60 in the NFL draft over the course of 2 years. That is, you want to close the gap and be impactful? You recruit to that.
Because that stops a high power. That equalizes a high power offense, which most of these college football teams have gotten to, and we can tell the difference because you go to a team over there in Southern California at USC, and they always got good receivers. But their biggest problem, they can't stop anybody. Specifically, they can't get to the quarterback, which is that D-line.
Yeah.
D-line is the reason why USC can't get over the hump, and they won a Heisman. They got a Heisman quarterback.
They went and took Georgia Scraps, gave him millions of dollars, and put him up downtown, and he didn't change a thing for them.
You talking about put him up downtown?
Put him in a high-rise downtown LA, and nothing changed.
Nothing. It changed for the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then after they played Colorado or something, they just went.
Colorado still put up 40.
They did. After that game when they almost came back, they just started sliding defensively. Because when they got to us, it wasn't no defense by then.
No, it wasn't. Lucky Lefty Podcast GTB question from Richard Head. Thank you, Richard, for tapping in. Love the show. How do you think Notre Dame approaches the 105 scholarship change next year? Does it affect the I'm assuming walk-on program? Thanks. We talked about this previously, Left. It's going to be very interesting because the dominoes are going to fall, and we'll see in real time the effect that it has. I think it definitely.
Well, would they give the walk-on scholarship?
No, I'm saying the preferred walk-on program at Notre Dame is very elite. Prevalent. It's elite. Literally, kids give up Power 5 scholarships to become a preferred walk-on at Notre Dame. So it bears watching. It bears watching how that will impact that program at Notre Dame. It bears watching. As far as everything else, I think it is a sense of cannibalism in college football.
Wouldn't Jordan Faison a walk-on technically?
Yes, Jordan Faison was part of the Teddy Rizak. Man.
So would they be like, we'll just give you a scholarship? He was already on scholarship, something, right?
He was on scholarship for lacrosse. He was on scholarship for lacrosse.
Does it transfer? It's like, did your scholarship transfer to football? Or
they could play games with that, right? They could open up. They could actually, what they could do next year is, because he has 2 more years left. He's back-to-back. They're back-to-back lacrosse champions trying to go for 3 in a row. They could literally open up a scholarship spot on the lacrosse squad.
Give him a football one.
Give him a football one to give the lacrosse team a better chance. Yes.
Yeah. Is Tyler Buckner on scholarship?
He's on, dude. That dude's probably on an academic scholarship, dude. Come on, man.
No, I'm saying though, like technically, like
now wait a minute.
Extra.
Explain this to me, Left. When you sign a letter of intent, that scholarship is still active. Is it inactive when you transfer? So like if you left school, so this is apples oranges. If you left school, you still would have an opportunity. I know if you leave for the NFL early, that scholarship still applies for you to come back and finish up, even while you're playing professionally. I wonder how it goes when you transfer. Does that end? Does it become inactive? And if you come back, is it so with that Tyler Buckner situation? Because he's a walk-on, I would think right now.
Yeah, because I thought your scholarship was only good, but year-to-year basis. Like they have to technically re-sign you year to year.
No, technically that is correct.
So what is he now then? Like, did they give him a scholarship to come back, or did he get a lacrosse scholarship, or is he paying for school? Like we let him back, but is he paying for school?
I think he has the ability to do that. He and his family.
Like, cause
no, there is no. I think the next practice is Tuesday. In the Milton fan, if I'm not mistaken. Well, the next practice where we have access is Tuesday. Yeah. So I think it differs. I do know, like, if you leave early, I know this for a fact. I think it is a 15-year. I forget, 15 to 20 years you have to come back and get your degree, and that scholarship still applies if you leave early for the NFL.
Wow. Now, that's school to school, that's pretty general.
I think that's general across the NCAA. Like the scholarship is good, the educational side is good if you leave early for professional sports up to 20 years. You have 20 years to come back and finish your studies and your degree, if I'm not mistaken. I do know you have a time. There's a time limit on it, but you do have time to come back and finish your degree. So that scholarship, even though it's annually, it is kind of more than that, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But that's a good question. That's a good question about Tyler Buckner. I would venture to say, like I said,
he's not treated like Jordan Faison, right? Like him and Jordan Faison don't got the same deal going on, I'm sure.
Well, Jordan Faison, look.
Because does Tyler Buckner have a lacrosse scholarship then?
He probably doesn't.
Like, is Jordan still on his lacrosse scholarship? See what I'm saying?
I don't think so. But see, this is why the scholarships matter more to the other non-revenue generating sports like baseball, women's softball, lacrosse that are now being made whole.
Right? Oh, because it's not a just football increase.
Like baseball only had 11.7 scholarships. The fact that they broke it down to a 10th is crazy. And they were literally giving everybody on the squad, like, I don't know if anybody on the squad had a full scholarship. Everybody
had a piece of the
30-40% scholarship. They had 11.7 scholarships to divvy up.
Wow.
Full scholarships to divvy up. Now they're being made whole. So now if you have a player, say like Drake Bowen, and this could impact, and Double R is in the chat. So I'm interested in Double R, how he sees this as well. Now with the 34 scholarships for baseball, could a Drake Bowen be recruited by football, but in conversations with baseball, because he plays both sports, could Marcus Freeman and the baseball coach have a conversation and say, Coach, can you allow him to take up one of your scholarships so we can go after this other kid?
Right. That's why I was
You
like,
know
I
what I'm
don't know if
saying?
Tyler and
So
on the same.
that's something to watch with these schools, right? How are they going to use these scholarships, and how do the coaches work together to say, okay, we really like this kid, he plays both sports, and that improves the baseball program. And so improving the baseball program, how does that now impact a two sport athlete that really wants to go to a top-notch school with a top-notch program in both sports?
Right.
You know, so I think the effects of this 105 scholarship thing is something we're really going to have. I don't think anybody knows for sure how things are going to flow, but we'll see. We'll see. I
It'll
do
affect
think
transfers, right?
I do think in a sense it is money driven. Um, yeah, it's money
Would
driven.
increase in scholarships open up a potential like free agency thing where guys are getting picked up during the year?
No, Left. You are really trying to turn college football into professional sports, bro.
I mean, that's what it's. I mean, they're slowly getting to it. Once the money got into it, I know that it's not going to get any
But see,
better.
this is the thing, bro. You cannot see. This is the thing, and I forget we talked about this on the recruiting hour one day. People have to register for school, bro. You can't drop out of a school and register for another school in the middle of the semester. You have to
But you can
wait till the
transfer at
next
any point,
semester.
though, right?
Yeah, but it's not like you're gonna transfer and just 2 weeks later show up in another uniform. That's not happening.
Well, you had
It's
to.
technically illegal. You aren't a part of the university. Like you have to be part of the university to legally play for
How long
said
did it take this?
university.
How long did it take to sign up to school?
The registration is over like 2 to 3 weeks after classes
Oh, that's right.
begin.
That's
Like,
right. You have to register before the semester. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
yeah. So like, what are people gonna like switch teams like after the first week? Like, all right, I'm done.
Well,
I'm
does that
switching
apply
teams.
to grad transfers? I mean, it probably does. If you, because I mean, they're only taking like a class or two. I don't know.
It's going to be group of five. I think will be impacted. I think high school recruiting will see impact as well. But yeah, it should be pretty interesting. It should be pretty interesting to see how it plays out. Let's see. Did I miss any other
My
questions? No.
left was hating. I said Spencer was better. I said Joe was better. Definitely said those two was better. Joe might mess around and start for the Patriots.
He's talking about Joe is not start for the
Joe might start for the Patriots because okay, hear me out. Joe might start for the Patriots one because the O line ranks 28th, the defense ranks 32nd. I mean, the receiver group ranks 32nd. They're not going to roll out Drake May when he's the worser athlete of the two with a terrible team around him. Joe Milton definitely might start. Spencer, you already heard the reports on Spencer being the man, but I already told y'all that back when he was going into the draft. So I'm 2 for 2 for sure. So I definitely wasn't hating on no Riley Leonard. I was just saying Steve definitely deserves the opportunity. He hadn't done anything to lose.
Please explain to me how you're 2 for 2.
2 for 2, 100%. I said Joe Milton was a better prospect. Eventually, well, for the team itself, where they're at, Joe Milton's probably a better play for the Patriots.
Joe Milton, there is no way in hell Joe Milton is starting for the New England Patriots.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. Left.
He's been looked at as the better quarterback in camp right now. And with the team they have, come on now.
Left. Where was he drafted?
They did it.
Left. Where was he drafted?
Sixth round.
Okay. Where was Drake May drafted?
First round, just like Robert Griffin.
No. Don't just say first round. What pick?
Second pick.
Third pick.
How is that any different?
Let me say this again. There is no way in hell Joe Milton is starting over Drake May.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, if I'm wrong, I'll come back and openly admit I got this one wrong.
Robert Griffin, Kirk Cousins, 2010.
Robert Griffin started. What are you talking about?
Yes, but Kirk Cousins was the last man standing.
Okay. Now, that's a totally different conversation. That's a totally different conversation.
Kirk Cousins was drafted.
No. You're saying I just said Robert Griffin started as the higher draft pick. He got the shot first, did he not?
Yes.
Okay, let's keep it a buck. If he doesn't tear his ACL, does Kirk Cousins ever see the field?
I don't know. They really like Kirk Cousins because that was the most confusing. Okay, that's the same thing with Atlanta. Do you think they like Kirk Cousins or do you think they like Michael Penix? Because if that's the case, Michael Penix should be starting in a year or two.
Okay.
Right?
Michael Penix will be starting in a year or two after Kirk tears his knees up again. Like, what are we talking about? Why do you think they drafted Michael Penix? They anticipate another Kirk Cousins injury. It's inevitable.
I don't know if they anticipate an injury with $130 million. What do you got? Something crazy?
Man.
100-something million guaranteed. That's what I'm saying. They planned on him not to play, but also paid him like they planned on him to play. It's crazy.
Bro, look, all I know is before Joe Milton started, Joe Milton is not jumping Drake May in that quarterback competition. He's not. It's not happening. It's just not. I did not answer your GTB earlier, Indy Milton fan. Because we're about to get to Al Golden in a minute. So I want to make sure I get all of these GTB questions. If I missed it, put it back in the chat. But yeah, just tough day yesterday. Tough day yesterday in practice for the offensive line, Left.
Really?
Tough day. Yeah, tough day. It is what it is. See, this is up. Take it from here, Left. You know what upsets me about people and fans? Like, we ask the silliest things, bro. It's just silly for me to ask for certain things that aren't normal. Like, when you see, it's silly to ask Caleb Williams to do what CJ Stroud did. It's silly to ask that. See, because you don't walk. It's silly to ask a quarterback to do. Now listen to my point. It's silly to ask. It was silly to ask CJ Stroud to do before he played. It's silly to expect and ask CJ Stroud to do what Patrick Mahomes did his rookie year. Because those things don't happen. That's why they're special. Because that just doesn't happen. You have to be special, and we don't truly know who's going to walk into the NFL and just be special off the top, right? Even in any sport, the best players, it takes most of them time to get there. It took Kobe literally a year, 2 years.
Like, how long did it take LeBron?
Look, you want me to pull up LeBron's rookie stats? Do you really want me to pull up LeBron's rookie stats? Do you really want me to do that? Do you really? Because they weren't better than Carmelo. I can pull them up. Yeah, we had the Carmelo phase. The Carmelo phase lasted 5 years. No. You asked. Would you like me to pull them up? I can pull them up because you're about to go down the wrong rabbit hole. I'm trying to warn you and save you. I don't think you want to do that. That's not. Do not die on that hill.
I was just saying.
You don't want to die on that hill. You don't. So leave it alone. Now,
Mahomes might be the only one, though. Mahomes might be the only one.
My point is leading back to. Like Will Anderson. When Will Anderson popped, Will Anderson was like a red shirt sophomore when he popped. He was a red shirt sophomore.
Yeah.
So that's his third. That's his third year. You go look at when most of the big time defensive tackles at Alabama popped. Most of them popped in their third year and then went to the NFL draft. Ladies and gentlemen, this college football is tough, bro. 80% of the players in college football, it takes 2 to 3. It takes 2 years.
It takes 2 years. Yeah, it takes 2
years before they pop. But we just have these expectations. Oh my God, oh man, I heard Cam Williams is struggling. He's a freshman. Like, relax. Charles Jagasaw. Everybody wants to critique Charles Jagasaw. This dude literally hasn't taken his first sophomore class yet. Well, he probably did during the summer. I take that back, knowing him, as smart as he is. But my point is, it takes time to develop. Not only time, it takes reps once you get on the field to get even better. You're going to hear Al Golden talking about Xavier Watts, talking about the challenge of getting better when you've gotten to a certain level. I want to hear
maybe Bo. Maybe Bo.
When you get to a certain level and you become a great player in college, I don't think people really understand how difficult it is to take that next step.
Oh, from going from great to college and great in NFL.
Like, if you're okay, this dude just won. How can Xavier Watts be better than what he was last year? The dude,
that's hard. Yeah, that's hard.
That's a challenge. How is he going to challenge himself developmentally? Marty Biaggi talked about that with the media. It's a challenge to put something together that's going to challenge Xavier Watts to want to get better and get better.
Yeah, to want to get, because I mean, he's probably like, not that he's resting on his laurels or nothing, but it's the fact that it's just you had some stuff that I don't know if you can repeat if you wanted to last year. I mean, a lot of things fell your way, shook your way, and it's yes, you did it because you were a great player in the right position, but to have that level of achievement that next year is tough. That's why Michael Beasley says people don't want to be great because they have to be asked to do it again. And for Xavier Watts to do it again, it just takes it. Not that he can't do it; he'll have a good season, but to be comparable to the defensive player of the year is a lot to ask.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, you know, and I understand fans really, because you invest, especially now, a lot of fans follow recruiting. They know these kids when they were sophomores, juniors. They finally get to a school, and it's like, oh, what is this kid doing? It's like, what's Sean Sevillano doing? Like, he isn't even on the main field. He
isn't even on the main field.
He hasn't made it to the
training in the training ground stage.
In team, he's like on the other field. Like, yo, because Notre Dame now has a roster just like Alabama and Georgia, where it's a fight. The wide receiver room, Cam Williams has to fight to get into that top 6. It's a battle. It's like Mike.
Yeah, it's like we said, what is it? There's 6 spots, about 9-10 guys maybe that can. And the top 6 is tough.
It's tough.
Yeah, and Cam Williams did all the time in the world, but it's like, okay, but you still got.
And perception is like, well, what's wrong? Why is he in the top 6?
There's nothing wrong.
Because they have really good players at the position. That's why. That's why.
Like, if Cam went somewhere else, he'll probably be in the top 5.
Oh,
you know. So,
if Cam went to Illinois, if he transferred right now to Illinois, Cam Williams would be a top 3 receiver.
Top 3? Y'all, stop disrespecting your school like that. There's about 12 receivers on Illinois right now. You said he's top 3?
If Steven take any quarterback, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just telling you the truth.
They got 12 receivers, and you talking about he's going to be 3rd.
Now, maybe this will give Notre Dame fans some appreciation for where this program is. Flip a coin, Left. Flip a coin. Do a lottery. Do anything. And choose any one of the quarterbacks, and they will start for Illinois right now. Any quarterback in the Notre Dame room would start for Illinois right now. Take your pick. Start. Walk into camp right now and start. Take your pick. Take your pick. CJ Carr will walk into that quarterback room at Illinois and start.
See, I can't say that because Drew walked to Arizona State and didn't start.
Okay. I don't know who else was. Jaden Rashada was at Arizona State when Drew got there, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Yeah. There is no Jaden Rashada at Illinois.
There's no
none. He is battling Luke Altmaier. That's who he's battling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they can go win over Luke Altmaier.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I know Luke Altmaier. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. You can take the top 3 running backs.
Steve will win. Yeah, Steve will be good over there.
Go take the top 3 running backs from the Notre Dame running back room. They will be the starting running back at Illinois. This is what I'm saying. And this is a Power 5 Big Ten program. So that should make you feel better about the level of talent that's being built at Notre Dame. So that's my issue after 3 practices. Like wanting to hear everybody can't be a Kingston Villamuasa, bro. Everybody can't be a freshman that immediately comes in and is like, oh, we can play. Everybody can't be a Leonard Moore or a Benjamin Morrison that immediately come in and it do. Why? Because they're special. There are some kids that are just special, but the normal process for football players in college is that it takes time, B. It takes time. It takes time. Give these young men time. Give them time. And if they don't pop, let them get their degree. Let them get their degree, bro. Because I know if I played for Notre Dame, let me tell you something. If I played for Notre Dame and after 2 seasons, I realized, yep, I haven't popped yet. I'm probably not going to get into the top of the rotation while I'm here, but I'm going to have fun and get this degree. That's what I'm about to do for the next 2 years. I can tell you that. No, for what?
After your red shirt junior year, which you probably graduate.
Yes. Oh, after
2 years left.
Yes, because I'm a grad. I'm a grad transfer.
If you wasn't a grad,
heck yeah. If I'm not a grad transfer,
up to your sophomore year.
No. Heck no. I'm not sacrificing.
But you get a starting spot out of Wisconsin or
Nope. Nope. I can get that same spot as a grad transfer. Nope. If I didn't pop on the field, I'm definitely gonna pop off the field because I'm leaving here with this degree. You can believe that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm leaving here with this degree. We can get to the rest after that. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So the defense, once again, we talked about the secondary. The linebackers, they're just longer and faster. Can they produce? You know what's so amazing? You know what's amazing, bro? We sat here for the last 3 seasons and like appreciated, but scratched our head at J.D. Bertrand and Lewis and Amaris Leofau. And the NFL loves them. The NFL loved them. Like, because we didn't see either one of them going that high or getting drafted that high. But the NFL loved them. And so sometimes, I just wonder, will there be moments during this season, fair or unfair, because everybody's entitled to their opinion, whether or not Notre Dame fans are going to be saying, man, we miss JD. Or JD would have made that play, Drake. Not realizing that JD literally played for 3 years. Like, he literally had 3 years of reps. Are you going to give the same grace to a Drake Bourne
first year
to a JD Oscar? Absolutely. Are you going to give him that same grace, or are you just going to be on him from the start? Like, JD would have made that play. JD did this. JD did that. Maris did this. Maris did that. I'm very interested in how the fan base is going to react to some of the young mistakes that are going to be made. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to make them. There are going to be instances early on where Drake might make the wrong call or go into the wrong hole.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. The mistakes, can they be looked over?
Yeah, I mean, so
and they almost have to. I mean, come on, man. That's the same reasoning we give for a year 3 Notre Dame program compared to a first year Texas A&M program.
yeah.
At year 3, that's we know what's going on. Year 1, they don't know what's they hopeful. They got a refresh, new talent, new face, new look. They hope it's good, but they don't know like a year 3 program.
Yeah.
So it just gives us the confidence. But can you overlook those first year mistakes?
And so there are a lot of people.
Embarrassment into that. Yeah, I mean, are we going to miss some of Mayor's plays now? That's the thing. He was
double R. Look, like I said, we lamented, critiqued. Dude, it's out there. The things we've said about both of those young men. But see, this is the one thing about Notre Dame football players. The structure of the NFL is easy for Notre Dame football players to impress. You want to talk about handling business and being professional? With other young men, it takes them time to hop into that. Notre Dame players, that's why they stick. That's why Notre Dame is like 5th or 6th in most players in the NFL. I saw something in the NFL top 100. Notre Dame is tied with Alabama, Ohio State, and I think Oregon with 5 players in the NFL top 100. The only other program that had more players was Georgia. Notre Dame is right there in that second tier group. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, we sit here and we talk about recruiting and talent and all of that stuff. Notre Dame players matriculate to the NFL and they're successful in the NFL. Forget where they're drafted. When they get to the NFL, they're successful because for the most part, Notre Dame is a very solid coaching and development football program. And the rigorous day-to-day of academics and athletics prepares them for the real life of NFL football. And they just translate well. They translate well. Like people, look, I don't know where Blake Fisher is the backup left tackle for the Texans, meaning he's not in the starting 5. That's the same thing we heard about Aaron Banks. The same things we heard about Blake Fisher are the same things we heard about Aaron Banks. Lots of questions going to the NFL. Aaron Banks has solidified himself. Blake Fisher is going to solidify himself at some point in the NFL. Where? What position? Who knows? But we got to relax, man. We got to relax. Because just like you have to establish yourself in college, it's a whole nother level to get to the NFL and establish yourself. That's like a whole nother step. We literally watched Cal Hamilton. Go back. Cal Hamilton's first 3 weeks. Go look at the press clippings.
Yeah, he was getting burned. He was slow.
Slow. Everybody was talking about the Ravens they made a bad pick doing all this. What are they saying now? What are they saying now?
Top 10 safety in the league.
Top 10. In my opinion, that dude's top 3. In my opinion, you think Bates is better than him. I don't. That's just your Cincinnati bias.
The league consensus is Bates number 1 in the league right now.
Okay, you can consensus whatever. So you mean to tell me
Kyle Hamilton's in there though?
If you were an NFL GM and you had Jesse Bates and Kyle Hamilton on the table, you telling me you picking up Jesse Bates?
Man, we're just talking about
no. Answer the question. Answer the question, Malik Zaire. If you are an NFL GM and you have Jesse Bates and Kyle Hamilton in front of you and they're free agents right now, who are you taking?
I'm taking the younger guy, obviously, in Kyle Hamilton. But Jesse Bates is top safety, though.
I didn't say he's a scrub. I just think Kyle Hamilton's better. And definitely it's going to be more impactful, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. When we come back, we'll get into a little bit of something with D McCulla and Al Golden on the other side. Lucky Lefty podcast. Stay tuned. We spin it different.
What's up, family? The merch shop is finally here. Lucky Lefty Network merch shop. We got it all. From the shirts to the hoodies to the hats to the nitty gritties. Come here right now. Shop with us. Come get the swag because you know, if anything else, we spin it different. You see the gritty. You see how we get down. It's elite.
Lucky Lefty podcast back in the building, getting ready to go into the running back coach D McCulla and Al Golden as they met with the media right here. If you have a GTD question, put it in the chat. We'll get to it. Super chats, we thank you in advance. ONORA Whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com, Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network, CFB Nation, Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Let us know your comments, questions. We respond to all. Home of the Misguided Passion, forever committed to making sure we spin it
different.
Yeah. So, Left. Double R said, can I get some LL here? We got you. We got you, Double. Got you. Al Golden, year 3. Give me your level of excitement. Your level of excitement left for year 3 and
10.
Al Golden.
And I'm gonna tell you why. 10 because to be a top defense for the last 2 years and going to year 3 where everybody's expecting you to be in that range already. You got the first round, you got defensive player of the year. But the biggest thing is the biggest key, for my opinion, in defense is a D-line. Can your D-line have the presence of a top 10 defense that we've been waiting to see since 2012? Everything else around it looks good, but to be able to mix the young linebackers in with a more productive D-line is a challenge because it's not the play calls. The play calls got us into the top 10. The scheme, the way we do things got us there. But the top 10 effect of dominance and intimidation and going into these games and having that next level of success for a playoffs and championship, that D-line's got to be special. Why Washington didn't win, in my opinion, was because their D-line wasn't special. You compare it to Michigan's D-line, their defense was it was special. And Washington had, a top 10 defense or something like that too. But the clear difference between the two teams was that D-line. And that's what Notre Dame has to be able to do defensively is we got a secondary now. Hell, we even got talented enough linebackers to fill in for what we just lost. But the production level of that D-line is where we have to take that next step. Hell, Clemson had it. They had 4 All-Americans at that D-line. That's what it took to win a championship that year. So that's with the receivers. So Al Golden's expectation for his production in his D-line is what I want to see in year 3 because all this stuff that can make you hype over the year 3 up to this point success is due to all the ancillary stuff. Got a first-round corner. Got guys that are making plays at the second level. You get draftable players at the second and third level. But the first level at that D-line is where you put the rubber to the road and where you really win those tough games. It starts up front with those guys.
No, my fault. I had to go get my sippy cup, bro. My big sippy cup.
That's right.
I call it my big sippy cup. Go ahead.
That's right. But yeah, that's the difference, and also the challenge because it's one thing to not be in the top 10 with all these questions. You're in the top 10 with questions that can take you from a top 10 to a top 2 or 3 with just the more production in a certain area. We have the talent. We have the veteran leadership. We got all the guys and accolades that you would need to be impressive on paper. Defensive line's got to be a highly productive unit for you this year, and you guys got the people for it. Jason Onyea, Riley Mills, Howard Cross, guys that are veteran, Jordan Patello. Then you got young guys like Tyson Ford and Sevillano and Boubacar Traore, guys that have the opportunity to go out there and make something happen. So that's where that has to come in. Al Washington has to be a big player for this unit. We didn't get in Justin Scott. We missed out on some kids, but we end up getting a good group that should be able to lead the charge and pick up for the slack that, in my opinion, we had.
Yeah, I agree. Lucky Lefty podcast. It is it's just funny, man. It's I just think when we talk about this defense, seeing it is one thing. I think what was pointed out left once again. I don't know, but I know. I cannot sit up here and convey and speak the language the way you and many of your teammates, Jerron and Cam and CJ, when you guys sit down and have a conversation about the game of football, you probably use certain terminology and certain things, that are kind of like shortcuts to make it easier for you guys to talk football. You played it. I didn't do any of that. You guys played at Notre Dame. I didn't do that. But you know what I can see? That's easy for me to see. Talent. Like you do. I don't have to play the game to see it. So spring of 2023, I'm watching practice and I come back and I do a show and I made this statement and you looked at me like, huh? I said the two most instinctive linebackers on the team are Drake Bourne and Jay Nosberry. I didn't say the best. I said the two most instinctive. I didn't say the best, love. I said the two most instinctive. And what was the biggest complaint about Notre Dame fans majority of the time when it came to linebacker play? Instincts, anticipation, knowing how to play the position.
I thought it was open field.
Well, athlete, that too. But your instincts put you behind the play. Your instincts should have told you to go over the top or hit this lane or don't fall for this against Tennessee State or against Marshall, Marist, when you got a 3rd and 9 with them backed up on their 4-yard line and you don't see the tight end coming across to the flat. That's you. That's instincts.
Like the Ohio State game, Marist played inside that run and
on the run,
68-yard for a
touchdown. Exactly. And JD should have scraped at a better angle to get over the top. That instincts. And I watched one practice. I haven't played a lick of football in my life.
You knew that was wrong.
I don't call myself an evaluator, but I literally watched these two youngsters and said to myself, yep, they play the game with better instincts. They have a lot to learn, but just instinctually, as a baseline, they play the game better. Just instincts. And it was immediate. So, I think someone put in the chat, Drake needs better play well early. Or what?
He's definitely going to stay in there.
No. Al Golden has shown you. Al Golden said in the middle of last season, I trust Drake Bourne. How many snaps did Drake take? I told people in spring practice, I saw a lot of players running around. Drake Bourne came through and hyperextended. It looked like he hyperextended his knee. You talk about the wind going out of the place. Everything went silent. They cut the music off. Everything went silent. That let me know just how important that dude is on defense. When that happens, that lets you know somebody is of importance on defense. That's right there. Every time. So people like, Drake better worry about KVA. Drake, man, go play. Go play. You can't tell a kid you got to worry about somebody else and think they're going to go out and play. Man, Al Golden is telling Drake, you the quarterback for this defense, kid. Go play. Go play. We're leaning on you. Go play. Fans, we do that. This person better do this or else this person. That's not even how, dude. That's not how it goes, man. No one does that. No one tells a person, man, you got this kid on your back. You better go play. They're not telling Riley Leonard, you got Steve breathing down your neck. You better play well the first 2 games. They're not telling him that. It's not. No. This is your team. Go play. We understand you haven't played. We understand you're going to make mistakes. Go play.
Yeah.
Go play.
Play fast. Go play fast.
Go play fast, man. Go play the way we know you can play. Go play.
KVA be fine. KVA be fine. KVA.
You know the crazy thing I told you. Remember I told you we were watching Chicago Bears games and literally come away like, man, all right, that cat Lance Briggs was a dog today. Brian Urlacher, he was all right. And we look at the final stats, and that cat Brian Urlacher will be credited with like 14 tackles. We'd be like, wait a minute. What?
I'm not gonna lie. I vividly remember being a big fan of Lance Briggs, but they will always talk about Brian. But I'm like, I'm looking at Lance Briggs destroy tackles and beat up the O-lineman, and they would never give him the credit. And his stats wouldn't be. I'm like, there's no way Brian Urlacher was everywhere like that. Now, I know the man was good and he was smart and all that, but Lance Briggs was, I think, comparably on the field. Like, you know how they say Josh Allen's the better quarterback, but Lamar Jackson wins the number 2 for best player in the league, you know? Yeah. And it's just one of those things. Like, yeah, the fans may love Josh, but the players love Lamar. Same kind of thing.
Yeah. And John Massey, this is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff. Don't look. Just enjoy, man. Like the comments in the chat now, right? KVA is going to be the starter by the end of the season.
KVA is going to be good.
Wait, no. This is where it gets ridiculous. He's Jalen Smith level. He would be starting if he was Jalen Smith level.
Yes, Jalen Smith was supposed to start.
Yes.
Yeah, like come on.
He would be starting.
We would all know who should be starting.
He's nowhere near physically.
Jalen Smith came in. Manti too. Manti came in looking different.
Yes.
He was the first 5-star linebacker.
And KVA is smaller than both of them.
KVA is small. Like, let's be honest. Like, he's small.
That's the issue. People just want to throw this kid out there. And
like KVA is like safety size. Xavier Watts is bigger than KVA.
He's a little bit bigger than safety size, but it's like he could play.
Xavier Watts is about 6'3", 6'4", 210, 215.
Yeah, he was like 190. He was like in the 190s at wide receiver. He's definitely got big.
Yeah, Xavier Watts huge. That's what I'm like. If KVA is bigger than that, KVA should be playing right now.
I think Brian Driscoll put it in one of his reports. Like, yo, you see KVA and you see like, oh man, he's still small.
He's still okay.
It's dude, it matters that when they say, yo, this kid needs to put on 10, 15 to play in the middle every down.
In the middle of the defense. So
like, dude, you're not about it would be the coaching staff. I don't care how talented he is. It would be coaching malpractice to just throw him out there.
Yeah,
to start game.
Well, we don't have to. We're not a program that's on its last leg. We got veterans and guys.
Once again, he would start at Illinois. He would walk on the field and start at the University of Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call Brett Bielema up because Brett Bielema gonna have a problem with you talking about his team like this. First of all, Illinois just 2 years ago was finna beat Michigan at home. What are we talking about? With that quarterback that you talking about?
Yeah.
They was finna whoop Michigan at home. It was 1 or 2 plays where they lost.
Oh no, you talking about 2 years ago when they got all the cats, Witherspoon and all those dudes drafted. Oh, they had
Yeah, Devin Witherspoon was a beast. He was over there
with Brown and Witherspoon and
y'all just had a D lineman get drafted first, second round this year.
No, they've had D linemen get drafted, Rudolph and
Yeah.
We're talking linebackers. Who were the linebackers? Who were the linebackers? Andrew, please ask yourself that question. He would be the best talent in the room immediately. He's not that at Notre Dame. That's why you go to big programs. I don't care how cold and talented you are, bro. There are people better than you, better players, better football players at the moment. And you have to learn. He has to learn to become a great college football player, not just a great talent, a great college football player. And it takes time. It takes time. Everybody has said he's going to be like, dude, we had people, man, there are literally people been doing shows from the time Kingston committed saying Kingston's going to be the starting middle linebacker to start the season. What are we talking about? We haven't seen this kid. We haven't seen this kid in one practice. Yes, he's great. You haven't seen this kid in one practice. The depth of playing the middle linebacker for Al Golden, the calls you have to make, everything that he has to learn, because he's a quarterback on defense, just like, what did you say the problem for missing time was Riley Leonard? You said there's a cost to it, right? There's going to be mistakes made, right?
Continuity issue.
And the nuances of being the quarterback of the offense. What's the same thing for the middle linebacker and the defense? You're making the calls, you're making the shifts. You have to know everybody's position. It's not, I'm just going out here showing my athletic talent. No, it's bigger than that. It's absolutely bigger than that. And it takes time, man. It takes time. Let these young men grow. And the ones that are special, you're going to see. You're going to see. What's your guy that just got drafted from Alabama, the pass rusher that flashed as a freshman? Dallas Turner. Remember, as a freshman, everybody's, oh my God. You know why?
God, yeah. Oh my God.
You know why everybody got excited? Because the dude came in on he came in on third downs.
Yes.
He's a third down specialist as a freshman. And because he got some sacks, everybody was like, oh my God. He has to learn the rest.
What it was, though.
Yes.
He wasn't in every down.
Yes. And when he came in every down, the next year,
he did his one job. He was good.
He struggled, and everybody turned on him. What's wrong with Dallas Turner? He's actually playing every down now.
He's actually being seen more. So
absolutely. So it's like, dude, KVA is going to be in the rotation. They're going to get a lot of run because of the schedule. That's the beautiful thing. I think all of these defensive players are going to get a lot of reps. They're going to help them that by the time they get to November, all of these youngsters that can play, KVA, Bryce Young, all of them are going to be able to produce in big time games and do things. But just some of the stuff that was just said, like, oh, he's going to beat out Drake Bowen for the middle linebacker position. And it's like, here we go, man.
Here we go.
Here we go. First of all, Andrew, stop. You need to clean your ears out. Starting at Illinois, the fact that you think starting at middle linebacker at Illinois is the same as starting at middle linebacker at Notre Dame is absolutely ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That lets us know your respect level for what it takes to get on the field and start at Notre Dame. That's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry. If you think being the starting middle linebacker for Illinois is comparable to the talent in the linebacker room in Notre Dame, I don't know what else to tell you. Come on, man. You got to be better than that. You got to give Notre Dame a lot more credit than that. You got, man. You got. You literally said if he could start at Illinois, he could start at Notre Dame. That's literally what you said, unless I misread what you text. Up
I
in the chat.
hope it was a misread.
Come on, man. Come on, man. And I went to Illinois. I'm telling you, it ain't the same.
Matt Salerno starts at Illinois.
Man, let me. Hey. No shade. No shade. He would definitely get ticked.
He definitely get ticked. Oh my God.
He definitely get ticked.
Well, the Big 10, I mean the Big 18, there's gonna be a tough conference now. So I don't know if Illinois is gonna be the as low as competition as you're saying. I'm sure they're pretty competitive.
Well, once again, okay, I'm glad you clarified that. So if he's starting at Illinois, he should be pushing Drake. Once again, left. Why would you want him to be put in the position in a pivotal third year for Marcus Freeman as a true freshman?
Yeah,
that is not big enough to play down after down on the inside. He's not big enough quite yet. And you want him to be the quarterback of the defense making all the calls. You literally would want to put all of that on a true freshman. That's what I'm talking about.
I would do that.
Do you know how many 5-star linebackers didn't start for Nick Saban? I wonder why, Left. I wonder why. How many 5-star middle linebackers would go and sit at Alabama? Would just go and sit. Guess why? Because there's a lot to do at the middle linebacker position other than see ball, get ball. It's a lot. And it's like
assignment, getting guys lined up right takes time to do.
And that was, remember, every time JD got hurt, that was the value that everybody would point to. Man, you could tell we really miss JD because he gets everybody lined up and he makes all the calls and he does this and he does that. That was the value everybody pointed to. And you want to put that on a kid who physically, everybody agrees, he needs to get stronger. He needs to get some weight. So not just one series here, one series there. You just want to give him that. It was crazy. It's crazy. I just never understood. Why are people sitting here saying this dude is just going to walk into Notre Dame? Because I feel like it's disrespectful to the talent at Notre Dame. Well, that's like me thinking immediately when Duce Knight walks in, he is going to be the most talented quarterback in the quarterback room.
By far.
Would you agree with that, Love?
Yes.
Would you agree with that? Why shouldn't he start then?
It's not.
He is easily the most physically gifted and talented quarterback in the room. Why shouldn't he start? Why? Why shouldn't he start?
Well, because we're not a desperate program, and I think that you want to get the most out of a guy that's that talented by developing him the right way. If you throw him, you can crush his whole confidence.
And so, I'm not saying if Drake, see, this is where non-realistic. Drake is going to make mistakes. It's not if Drake, KVA is going to make mistakes. What are we talking about? Why do we have this view of kids as if they have to be perfect? They both are going to make mistakes. That's football. Left says it all the time. Half the players make mistakes on your average football play. If you know what you're watching. Left says it all the time. You can find 4 or 5 guys every play in an NFL college football game that make mistakes. Every play. That's football. KVA, Drake, Howard Cross, Bradley Mills, they're going to make mistakes. The veterans make less mistakes because they've had reps. So it's silly to say if Drake makes mistakes, then no coach says, if you make mistakes, KVA is right on your tail. No one coaches like that. They don't coach like that. They don't talk to kids like that. They just don't. That's how fans talk. Coaches don't coach and teach like that. They just don't. And I just wish that everybody would just be a little bit more sensible in the way they look at how these young kids have to come in, grasp everything, go to class, train, get used to being on their own, pick up weight. Like, yo, as we said, I have not seen one person that covers Notre Dame that has not said, yo, okay, KVA, he's super talented, but he needs yeah. Now when he puts on 10, when he puts on 10 to 15 left, oh, he's gonna be a problem.
They gotta get him bulked up like Tulamavaka, what's his name? Number 44 for us.
Oh no. First of all, that's a bad comparison because JD.
No, I'm saying beefed up like him, like add some weight.
Yeah, but he's playing D line now, bro.
I'm saying the size got to be beefed up a little bit.
But he was a stockier, bigger middle linebacker.
Yeah, that's true.
KVA is almost like a
safety.
Derek Brooks, outside linebacker, weak side linebacker. Like I like
him and the Don Schuler are probably the same size.
I like him playing when they put him and Drake on the field at the same time. I love it. I love it. When they put him and Drake on the field at the same time, I absolutely love it. I love it because, and you can see the way they've been using him. They put him next to Drake. They've brought him in also with Jaden in the second group. And then they brought him in and allowed him to rush off the edge. So it's obvious that Notre Dame has recognized that he is extremely gifted physically, and we have to find a way to get him on the field. We just have to find a way to get him on the field. Dude, you can John Massey, the young man is small, bro. The young man is small. And people will tell you, yes, he needs to add weight. The same thing. Guess what they told Drake Bourne when he got to Notre Dame? You need to add weight. And he did. They told Jay Nosberry, you need to add weight. And he did. I didn't play the position. I don't know why they want these kids to put on extra pounds. But for some reason, they want these kids to be in the two. Al Golden spoke about it last year. Who was he talking about? Drake. And Drake came in at 230 something. He was like, yeah, we want to get Drake up to about 244. And I'm saying to myself, like, Drake is already a stout kid. Why, man, just let him play. Just let him play at 235, 238. But play after play, to be in the middle, that extra weight means something. That extra strength means something. And the best minds in the game, they say so. And that's the way they feel. You know, in my mind, 230, 235, hit the ground running. Let's go, right? As a fan. But the more I stick around and the more I listen to these coaches and watch what they think is best for these young men, yeah, I tend to believe that, it really does take time for these young men to reach their full potential. Lucky Lefty podcast. All right, Left, let's get to it. Al Golden met with the assembled media, and he gave his outlook on what he thought for the defense for this season.
Group is different, right? So the identity of each group kind of unfolds as training camp unfolds. We already have an idea how this team will be different than last year's version, and I don't have a rigid philosophy in terms of this is the way we're going to operate if that's not the way the personnel wants to execute. So for me, it's about putting the guys in the right position, defensive staff to analyze and identify the best things that those guys do and put it in. So that's where we're at right now in terms.
Sorry about that, guys. You have to love hearing that from Al Golden, the attention to detail. And I said earlier when we were introducing the show, Al Golden is one of those guys that hides his excitement very well. He hides his excitement very well. And he gives you the stoic face, and it's like, yeah, this, yeah, that, yeah, I don't know about this. He really tries to keep the media from like overhyping certain situations, circumstances, and definitely overhyping his players. He does a tremendous job, in my opinion, of making sure that he keeps a certain attitude throughout that defensive side of the ball, right? That don't read your press clippings. You're not as good as you think you are. Like there's always an area to get better. There's always something to do to get better. And I think he does a tremendous job of doing that. And I think he's masterful at the way he answers questions. I really do. Always impressed with him when he talks to the media about his defense. Then he was asked about year 3, and everybody keeps talking about year 3. Like year 3, what do you expect? Listen to what he said, because I think it's very important to really tap into what he talks about with year 3 and the expectations in this defense.
Group is different, right? So the identity of each group kind of unfolds as training camp unfolds. We already have an idea how this team will be different than last year's version, and I don't have a rigid philosophy in terms of this is the way we're going to operate if that's not the way the personnel wants to execute. So for me, it's about putting the guys in the right position, defensive staff to analyze and identify the best things that those guys do and put it in. So that's where we're at right now in terms of the season.
Year 3. Yeah, this is year 3. We should be better. The expectation is to be better. But, we are about the process. We are about doing the same thing over and over again because nothing's guaranteed, right? Year 3 does not guarantee that our defense is going to be as successful as they were last year. There is no guarantee that we're going to get to that point. We have to put in the work. We have to go through the same process. We have to approach it the right way. And then we'll see the fruits of our labor come to manifestation. But other than that, he really does not buy into, the thoughts of everybody else, the expectations of everyone else. They have their own expectations. They have their own process. He's very meticulous. That's another thing. He's very meticulous in what he asks. He's very much a great counter to Mike Denbrock on the football field from a practice standpoint and from a preparation standpoint when putting a game plan together, because they're both very meticulous at the way they go about things. And it's not just about the outcome. You've heard Marcus Freeman say this as well. It's not just about the outcome. It's about the process just as much. And both of them lean on the process, especially if you hear them on the football field. You will hear them regardless of what the outcome is, whether it's a positive play for the offense or the defense. They, as teachers, focus on the process as they should. That's how you teach, right? Because someone could be doing the wrong things and creating bad habits, and you'll have good fruit yield from it, and then put in a difficult situation with elevated talent on the other side, and all of a sudden what they have been doing doesn't work. Why? Because it's wrong. They're going about it wrong. The process is wrong. The technique is wrong. Do not focus on the fruit. My coach always told me, Sean, every strike is not a good pitch to swing at. And it's hard for people that play baseball to understand that, because all they teach you when you're young is swing at strikes. That's all you hear. Swing at strikes, swing at strikes, swing at strikes. And that has to evolve. It's cool when you're a little league to hear swing at strikes and go implement that. But as you go up against elevated pitching, throwing 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 100 mile per hour fastball on the outside corner is a strike, but it's not a good pitch to swing at. You foul that off or take it. If it's not 2 strikes, if it's 2 strikes, foul that off and get to the next pitch. It's like, yo, it's different. The nuances of the game. This is why they teach the way they teach. And this is why I love having Al Golden and Mike Denbrock as coordinators going to this season. I think it's going to be a tremendous impact. And I think Mike Denbrock and there's going to be a different challenge. I think the defense is going to ultimately be better because they are being challenged more by the offense, in my opinion, during fall camp than they were last fall camp. I think creatively from the offensive coordinator position, the game plan, the approach is more challenging. And I think it's going to prepare this defense more for a first game like Texas A&M and for a playoff run. Conversely, I do think that their defense, and as good as they are, is definitely a challenge to this offense and not making the transition into Mike Denbrock's offense as easy as some people think it should be. And I think that's going to bode well for both sides of the ball. Al Golden said he's excited about his young linebacker.
I'm excited about that room. Part of, what JD left and what Maris left, that's part of their legacy that lives on, right? In terms of their preparation, their football intelligence, how they practice, how they prepare. And that's why the room's in a really good place right now. So we're excited about that. We need some younger guys in that room to step up. But any of the guys that have been in the rotation since the spring are ready to go.
They're ready to go. It's just amazing to hear Al Golden, and he might be, showing the poker face, having concerns behind the scenes, having concerns when he watches the film, like what teacher, what coach does it, find something wrong when they watch film. That's what they're supposed to do. But I think what Marcus Freeman has shown publicly for the offensive line, so when you hear the offensive line struggled a little bit in practice 3, are we just going to eradicate that they looked pretty good in practice 1 and 2? So one practice just eradicates what we saw and what we heard about them in the first 2 practices? Does not the defense get a chance to answer, be upset and answer and come out and say, all right, we saw what you got. We saw how different it is. Now we're about to come out, counter you, answer the bell, and show you who we are. That's camp. That's fall camp. That's the way it should be. And to hear that he's excited about these young linebackers, as I said before, Drake Bowen last year, a lot of people forget that. I want to say Drake had a hamstring issue for like 3 to 4 weeks at the beginning of the year that kind of held him back and hampered him. And so when you get to like week 8 and he's just coming back off injury and Al Golden is telling you like, yes, I trust him. And a lot of people took that as, oh, we're about to see Drake Bowen play a whole lot more. And no, because even though he is physically more gifted, he just talked about the legacy of preparation, practicing, knowledge of the game, knowing the defense, leadership, all of that stuff that he pointed out that Maris and JD left as a legacy that the rest of the linebackers picked up and now carry the torch are very important, very important. And these are things that Al Golden looks for when he talks about what you do. He's going to say something in a clip that's upcoming that I'm about to play that's going to let you know You know, when young men are questioning coaches about playing time, he says something that is so simple, but it makes so much sense when it comes to, yo, if you want to get on the field, this is what you have to do. Lucky Lefty Podcast. What is the defensive identity of this team? The defensive identity of this team.
Yeah, I don't give away too much. I think you guys know me. You know, again, for me, we're just inward facing right now. You know, I'm a believer in brilliance in the basics. Get really good at the fundamentals. The fundamentals are what's going to last till January. Game plans come and go, calls come and go, but that core fundamentals, without getting in too much detail, that's what endures. And so that's our philosophy right now. Just break the game into little intervals, little pockets, if you will, and execute each one, and then obviously come together each game, you know, pick the menu and go from there.
It's so crazy, no matter what sport it is. Anytime you want to get better, it's amazing how the best coaches in the world all say, you want to get better? Make your fundamentals better. Make your fundamentals better. It's not like people talk, man, I got to train. I got to get faster at the 40. I got to get quicker at this. I have to get better footwork. Yes.
But that's where you have to bring in the trainers. You got these kids that's 8, 9 years old with these professional trainers and all of that. No, when you 8, 9 years old, you're making big strides. When you get into that college and that NFL, that's where you have to get the 1% better, where the details and technique and fundamental really matter, because everybody got the talent.
Man.
High school, 8th grade, you know, 6th grade, 5 years old, everybody is the talent deficient. Who's got the most talent? College, when everybody's practicing every day, doing the same type of strenuous routine, it's about technique. There's not a lot of wow factor once you get up into that level. The wow factor is, man, he's consistently blocking the dude every time. The wow factor is, man, he's consistently making the right decision or the open throw every time, or he's reading the play to sit in the zone or whatever the right way. That's why you need the trainers and those gurus and those top guys. But every coach is right, because I need you to really be detailed when I'm giving a play, because that's the difference is inches when you get that high. So the only way you get better is the 1% better. There's not too many gaps you make once you get that high up.
You ever watch the show Beating Bobby Flay?
I heard of that.
Yeah, Bobby Flay, you know, world renowned.
Yeah.
Where he's known for like being able to cook dishes really fast. So they put time on the clock. You know, 2 chefs go up against each other. They pick a dish, limited time to cook it, and then the winner has to go up against him with the dish of their choice, right? And so you talk about technique. He is so technically sound as a chef that's what makes him great under pressure. Now, if you ask me if my grandmother could cook better than Bobby Flay, I would tell you absolutely yes. But my grandmother would need time.
Right.
If you put my grandmother on a time crunch, I probably would lean towards Bobby Flay because of his technique, not because of his ability to cook. The technique and the nuance of what he does. You put Bobby Flay in the kitchen with my grandmama and they got a full afternoon to cook a Sunday dinner, she gonna eat them up. She gonna eat them up, bro. She gonna eat them up. Because most, especially soul food, most of our grandmothers don't use anything to measure. The rest, no, it's all feel. It's all feel.
So that means that Riley Leonard is Bobby Flay.
Break it down for me. I don't know the angle you're trying to come at right now. I don't know the angle. I'm not walking into that. You have to be specific with what you're talking about, Lef. Where you going with this?
No, I'm just playing. But
okay,
we definitely agree that
I hope he is Bobby Flay, because Bobby Flay beats everybody. So
yes,
he
Bobby
rarely
Flay
loses.
And it's a short amount of time to get it done in, and that's what we're requiring. This is the position at quarterback for this year. We need a Bobby Flay. We can't get a guy that needs 2 or 3 years of development and 2 or 3 years of playing in the system. So Bobby Flay, yeah, it's a beat Bobby Flay year.
Okay.
Can he go in there and just microwave the success that we all know it takes 2 years to make? Denbrock is like your grandmother. He need 2 years to get this offense the right way. But Riley Leonard's like, I got to make this in one. I got to make this the AP class. But the AP class just means you get twice the work in a short amount of time. Not that the class is harder. It's still science class. It's still ninth grade.
The same information at a faster rate.
Yeah, so that's why he has to be at that level, which is where my concern was, because is Riley that type of talent that can take on double the load of what's necessary? Because that's almost like putting on the cape. Can he put on the cape for Notre Dame and save the day when the time? Because you don't got time to assess the situation. It's just going crazy. You got to go save it. You got to go save it. So Denbrock's got your grandmother's recipes. He's got to find a faster way to get them done in 1 year.
Yep. So Marcus Freeman in his press conference said he was excited because the defense is much further along than previous fall camps. And I told everybody after the first practice, like, yo, that cat defense did not come out vanilla in the first practice. They were bringing it. And Al Golden can probably take it up
in year 3. Yeah, in year 3, you started off hot. We ain't going with basics. That was 2 years ago.
And that was great because you would think with the youngsters at safety, with the youngsters at linebacker, like maybe he needs to like calm things down. No, they came out full recognition of the playbook. Let's go. And he responded to Marcus Freeman saying that when asked about the meeting.
I mean, I think our guys prepare really hard. I think our staff works exceedingly hard to get them ready. Whether it's film preparation, cut-ups, a summer development program, tip sheets every day. I think our staff does a great job getting them ready. And I think the players do an awesome job of setting a high standard. It's one thing to have the material and send it to your players. It's another thing whether they're accepting it, learning it, and ultimately, being empowered. And I think that's where our guys do a great job. They're empowered to get better every day, and they really challenge us. And as I said to X yesterday, as you get into year 4, year 5, we have some guys year 6. When you get to that age, like it's hard to get better, and your focus has to be finite. And but I said that's what motivates me. Like if X wants to know what makes me stay late or come early in the morning, it's his attitude, his approach, his effort, his leadership, his unselfishness. Like that's just one player, but we have a bunch of guys like that, and that's what makes it fun to go to work.
I just want to replay this part for you guys because it goes back to what we were saying a little bit earlier, right here. Listen to Al Golden say this again. This is very important to hear.
As I said to X yesterday, as you get into year 4, year 5, we have some guys year 6. When you get to that age, like it's hard to get better, and your focus has to be finite. And but I said that's what motivates me. Like if X wants to know what makes me stay late or come early in the morning, it's his attitude, his approach, his effort, his leadership, his unselfishness. Like that's just one player, but we have a bunch of guys like that, and that's what makes it fun to go to work.
Yo, when you get to that point, it's hard to get better. It's hard, man. The levels to this game, the levels to this journey academically and athletically for these young men in a school like Notre Dame, it's a tall task. It is really a tall task. And to watch kids be able to flourish in both areas, it's impressive. It's absolutely impressive. And so with that, that's why I say, the more I'm around, I give a little bit more grace to these young men for what is being asked of them than I did, say, 2 years ago. It's tough. It's tough. And when he's telling an award-winning defensive player and possible first-round pick in the NFL draft 2025, Like, yo, you keep me coming in. You want to get better. You put forth the effort, and that keeps me coming back so I can find things to help you get better. That's very, man, you love hearing that from a coach. He's being driven. That sounds like the program is becoming a player-driven program rather than a coach-driven program. The players are driving the coaches to raise their levels. And that's absolutely amazing to hear. It's absolutely amazing to hear. Lucky Lefty podcast. So that's defensive coordinator Al Golden. So D McCulla, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite coaches on the staff. He met with the media and he was asked about the running back room off season, what he's been doing to develop the position. This is what he had to say. D McCulla.
Continuing to build the group as a group and have these guys identify what their strengths and weaknesses are. We got a job board that we are slotting guys into, but those guys got to earn those positions. We got a somewhat younger group overall as far as time on task. With Jabron being out, these other guys having to really step up. Really feel excited about these guys' skill level. It's just getting it into a certain situation where they can help themselves and help the team best as possible.
Speaking of the young guys, what is your approach to player development?
I just put the guys in. So the thing is, I think all the guys are finding out. The guys who've been here in the past already noticed, but then even the new guys, including walk-ons. Here in the early part of camp, I'll play them all. I coach all these guys up, coach them all up the same. The standard is the same, but those guys get an opportunity to show that they can handle that load that comes with that. So we put them, develop them by what we do in the classroom, and then once we get on the field, I put them in a position to be successful.
Okay, coach. Hey, coach, how you develop them? I play them. Ladies and gentlemen, yo, Coach D, love him, man. Love him. Straight shooter, honest. Gonna tell you how it is. Coach, how do you develop these guys? I play them. I put them out there. And that was one of the things we talked about, the efficiency of the 5-minute periods now in comparison to the last 2 years offensively has just gone to it's a totally different operation. It is an elevated operation at Notre Dame, in my opinion. The way the offense moves, just the way they go about their business and practice, from what we've seen in the first 3 practices, in my opinion, there's a decided difference. The way they're going about their business. Is that just 3 years in the Marcus Freeman system? Is that the impact of Mike Denbrock and what he brings to the table? I'm sure it's a combination, an accumulation of all of those things. But I'm here to tell you, man, Coach D McCulla and his value to this program, his value to, and you heard him mention, like, yo, it starts for me with what we put as the standard in the classroom. There's a lot, because most of these kids, they come in, especially if they come in January, they're taking classes. It's not like they're just there in South Bend. No, they come in January and they're taking classes. They're in school, right? They haven't gone through a practice yet. They haven't had a spring practice, but they're in school. And so the standard starts there. That's really refreshing to hear a coach say that, right? The standard starts in we set our standard in this running back room. It starts first in the classroom, taking care of your business there, being at your best there. And then if you do that, it's easy for that to translate to the football field. I don't know if there's any other program. There are probably a few other programs in the nation left where, that standard is established off the field, and then it just translates to the football field. Notre Dame is, there's not too many places where that is the case.
You'll have it at Alabama. You'll have it at Georgia. Most prominent places that are consistent has it. That goes through it goes back to why it's important of those seniors and those guys that have been in the program passing it down. ingratiating the young freshmen, just like Charles Jackson saw. They bring him into the Buffalo herd, and he just watching film of previous Notre Dame players, and those previous Notre Dame players coming back. Him seeing that that's real. Even Coach Heaston comes back. He wasn't even at Notre Dame. He came back just to talk to the guys. So all of those experiences are shaping these kids' motivation and building that pathway for them to be like, oh, I can be a first round $100 million tackle. I'm around it every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching the film every day. They show that if they showing us a new play, they go back to when the play looked good with the first round tackle. I got the first round tackle's phone number. He followed me on Twitter. He hit me up about doing. It's no different than Brian Young's son, Junior. Al Gold maybe he's explaining the defense or something going on. He might have a question that he might ask his dad. His dad be like, "Yeah, you just got to rip, run, boop." So that inside detailed little technique and knowledge, it translates and goes a way further way.
Yeah.
Jordan Clark. I'm sure Ryan Clark has told him everything you can learn about playing that position. So now there's going to be times during the season, times in the game this year where Jordan does things that probably wasn't coached. But Al Golden's like, oh, how did you know that? But I'm glad that you did. You yeah, you instinctually knew where it was coming because your dad, watching and being around it. So stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the type of benefit that you get when you can't get a 5-star.
Yeah. Did you hear all of that D McCulla clip?
The last part.
Yeah. Let me play it for you again. This is D McCulla. They were asking him about how he develops. This is fun. Yeah, how do you develop your running backs? Check it out, Left. This is for you.
Continuing to build the group as a group and have these guys identify what their strengths and weaknesses are. We got a job board that we are slotting guys into, but those guys got to earn those positions. We got a somewhat younger group overall as far as time on task. With Jabron being out, these other guys having to really step up. Really feel excited about these guys' skill level. It's just getting it into a certain situation where they can help themselves and help the team best as possible.
Speaking of the young guys, what is your approach to player development?
I just put the guys in. So the thing is, I think all the guys are finding out. The guys who've been here in the past already know this, but then even the new guys, including walk-ons, here in the early part of camp, I'll play them all. I coach all these guys up, coach them all up the same. The standard is the same, but those guys get an opportunity to show that they can handle that load that comes with that. So we put them, develop them by what we do in the classroom, and then once we get on the field, I put them in a position to be successful.
Hey, Coach, how do you develop these guys? I play them.
I throw them in there.
I throw them in there.
And I think you can do that for running back. That's easy. Throw them in there, let them get a couple touches, get a couple times to see the vision, and then go from there. But at the end of the day, that's the benefit of playing that position and being a great coach. And it's about the relationships that you build in there. I mean, when you give somebody a task, that's way more of a team building activity than just say, oh, we're all here in this together, right? Your job specifically, get them tough 2 to 3 yards in between the tackles. Your job is to hit outside and get as much as you can outflank the defense, right? Your job is to play in space. So when you give guys goals in different roles that they play on the team, it's just like anything else. You play a lot better in harmony, like a band. Mm-hmm. If we're in the band and you play the trombone the greatest, I'm not going to ask you to play the guitar. I'm going to ask you to play the trombone, but playing the trombone and being good at it, you're going to make the song even better. And it's no different in football, except, the quarterback is the conductor. You can only have one of those. You can't be playing 2 songs at once.
Yeah. So he also got into not just development, but he was asked about all of the running backs. Like, yo, what do you think about your group, their talents? And this is what he had to say.
And just explosiveness, across the board. The other thing is just these guys, like one of our main tenets is being unselfish. So these guys were recruited here and they understand how the things roll as far as they got to be part of an overall group. Yes, they understand and they've seen the ending or the bottom line still come out the way it does as far as guys getting the carries and doing what they need to do to help the team. But I'm just excited about all of them. I mean, Jeremiah, you know, his physical growth, his explosiveness, his athleticism. JD, continue with his physical growth, his ability to change direction and slash. Devin Ford coming back, giving us some veteran leadership there. A guy who's like a coach on the field, really involved in what's going on. Got an opportunity to pick up some slack where Jabron left. Aeneas Williams, who's an ascending player, man, put together, guy almost benched 400 pounds already. He's doing some really good things for us. I'm extremely excited about him. Kedron Young, opportunity to see him do things today. First time he ever did something with pads on. He was hurt before we did pads in the spring. I'm really getting on him about lowering his pads. You know what I mean? He just running, big old guy running through the hole standing upright. Yeah, he ran through somebody today, but I'm just telling him the damage he can do if he was to lower his pads. And then we got Jake Tefelsky and Justin Fisher, who I'm excited about as walk-on guys. So we all in this together, and we're going to get it done.
Man, the fact that he mentioned Justin Fisher, and let me tell you, that's the type of coach. You can't just sell it and then focus on the top guys, right? You can't sell this is a team effort in this running back room. You have to be unselfish and not include everybody from A to Z. And that stood out to me right there in that clip, Left. Like, he's talking about everybody and what they bring to the table. Wait a minute. First of all, I'm glad he didn't like throw whoever it was under the bus. The fact that Kedron Young ran somebody over in practice yesterday. Coach just let it slip out. Yeah, Kedron Young ran somebody over in practice. That's good to hear. That's his first practice. And his first practice, because he was hurt in the spring, his first practice in pads. Yeah, he's just running. But what did we talk about? That's cool. But we just talked about this with Al Golden. Left, you had stepped away. It's cool that you're getting this result, but what was the process? Right? It's cool you ran him over, but your pad level is still a little bit too high. You can do more damage if you lower your pad level. Like, don't be happy with that. You can do that better. That's coaching. That's coaching, man. And then this dude bench pressing 400. Where they do that at? Bro, let me tell you something, man. I'm about to shame myself. I think my max on the bench is like 185.
See, that's okay because, you know,
I've never tried anything else.
Because they got the thing where they do the rock climber versus the power lifter, and the rock climber's like way stronger type thing. It's, you know, so
yeah,
it's so funny. The more we've gotten into the years of development and athletic development, weightlifting always seems to get put at the archaic type of view. You know, like benching and squatting 500-600 don't even matter no more because they're like, well, that's not the proper way of explosion and all these high level science terminologies of what makes you a good athlete or not. But I firmly believe that you know, having that physical body strength, whether it be lifting iron or whatever the case is important. But hey, not everybody can do 185 either. That's and I think that's you still strong. Because if you can do 185 30 times, hey, you making it happen.
It's all about reps, baby.
That's right.
It's all about reps. Lucky Lefty Podcast. The combination at the top, though, JD, Jeremiah. What's up with that combination, Coach?
I mean, both similar guys as far as twitchy, explosive. You know, Jeremiah, I mean, JD's changed the direction that's super special, but so is Jeremiah. So it's almost like you flip a coin on what you get. Jeremiah's probably a more dynamic guy if you say, look, I want to line you up as a receiver, as a true receiver, and he can do some things that the other guys can't do. But even JD is very special out of the backfield with the ball in his hand. So it's a great situation to be in as a coach because you got two guys who are super, super high level that you can intermix in there. And of course, the other guys, man, I'm very excited about them too.
It's only one football, and you done talked about 4 or 5 good opportunities and good players at running back. So that's why it's going to be hard for Denbrock to say who deserves a lion's share of the credit. Those two alone deserve 30, 40 carries if the team focus was on them. But we just talked about 6 receiver spots and 9 guys competing for it. And only 4 of them 6 can play at a time.
Right.
That's if we don't use a tight end who we got 4 or 5 or 6 of them.
Right. You got five NFL tight ends on the roster.
3 NFL running backs and about some potential 5 or 6,
No, I think they had 4. They had 4 NFL running backs. I think Jabron would still make it in the NFL.
Jabron to make a team. And Tony Jones Jr. Tony Jones Jr. making teams now. Jabron's more in Tony Jones' lane. I think he can make a little career out of it.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 3 or 4 guys at running back, receiver, and tight end that deserve the football. Like if you had to be like, oh, you're crazy for not getting him the ball. We got about like 7 guys like that. So after all them people that D McCulla talking about, those are all running backs. That's not the offensive unit. That's only his.
Which is why preaching when you're recruiting these guys, you have to preach being unselfish. Like, bro, you have to be unselfish. Like, at the end of the day, you're going to get what you want, which is the production. Remember, Audrey estimate his freshman year touched the ball the last game of his freshman year. Second to last game. And I remember seeing him as a freshman. I never forget it. I saw him running drills as a freshman, and I'm like, dude, why is this dude this big with amazing feet? Like his feet were, I'm like, oh, this dude going through these drills, his feet are absolutely fantastic to be this big. And then the next thing you know, he turns into the running back that is beloved. And funny, as beloved as he is by Notre Dame fans, I think Notre Dame fans voted on our poll that he still wasn't a top 5 running back in Notre Dame history, which is crazy. As much as they love Audric Estime, I think they had him in the 5 to 10 range, but not top 5.
Who is your top 5 be?
Bro. You see, that's unfair. That's unfair, bro. That's unfair.
It's unfair for 5 guys?
Yeah, it's easy for me because I go all the way back to Lou Holtz. So it's easy for me to find 5 running backs.
Not find them, the best 5.
No, it's easy for me to find, yes.
Okay, who would be your 5 then?
Yes. I will put Ricky Waters.
Easy.
Definitely.
Easy.
Lee Becton was cold.
As a top 5 though?
Lee Becton was cold. Alan Pinkett was cold. Right? One of your coaches.
Denson, Audrey
Denson was
he's
cold.
Audrey
Denson was cold.
Audrey Denson right? He's definitely top 5.
Jerome Bettis, cold.
Was he better in the NFL than in college though?
No, Aldrich wasn't touching Jerome Bettis. Just go watch the second half of the Florida Bowl game, bro. Audrey Denson wasn't touching Jerome Bettis, bro. He was, no.
Okay, so you're at 4.
Yes, and I didn't even mention Reggie Brooks.
But
Tony Brooks.
Those are straight. If we're saying best, now we got to talk about the ones that can catch now.
I don't even know.
3 of those 4 were running backs, not like versatile backs.
I don't know if Aldrich was better than Kyron.
No.
And Notre Dame.
No. Kyron's debatably top 5.
Yes, especially
from what they asked him to do and what
the old line he was running behind. Yes,
yeah, come on.
And the quarterback seat. Yes,
definitely top 5.
Yes.
And for the amount of time he did it 3 years.
Yes.
Kyron's definitely top 5.
Yes. I don't know if I would put Julio Jones in front of Aldrich. I don't know. I know it's easy because Julio Jones had the longer runs.
Kyron's definitely 5 for me. Kyron's 5. And then there's 4 more after that. Ricky Waters. And then, I mean, you know, Jerome. So now we got Coach Denson.
Now, one of your teammates was one of my favorites because I just love
Josh Adams is an all-time back.
Josh Adams, yeah.
Yeah, man, was in the Heisman.
You got to get Josh Adams some love.
When's the last time running back the Notre Dame was in the Heisman conversation?
Darius Walker is a true freshman against Michigan. He walked.
Ryan Grant. Ryan
Grant was nice. One of my favorite running backs, that's his style of running. He was smooth, dude. No, Torian was smooth.
Who?
Torian Folsom, boy. Torian was smooth.
Torian. Yeah, Torian was good. But Torian didn't have enough reps because he got hurt.
Torian Folsom tore his ACL on one of the nastiest moves I ever saw somebody put on a defender. He juked the heck out of that Texas defender. Tore his ACL. That's how crazy. That's how crazy the move was. Man, you going, oh, Mark Green. Mark Green was a very good running back. That's a good one. He ended up being a good running back for the Bears, too, when he got to the NFL.
They keep saying Paul Hornung. Was Paul Hornung better than the guys we named?
Yeah, bro, I don't know. I didn't watch Paul Hornung, bro. I wasn't around. I'm sorry, bro. I need to go to YouTube and see some Paul Hornung clips. I'll take the word for it, though. Melissa, I'll take your word for it. I'll take her word for it.
I don't know if Paul Hornung's hanging with a Josh Adams right now.
I'm sure the stats bear it out. But I'm just saying, I haven't watched his clips. Rodney Culver was definitely.
Yeah, Theo was good. Theo had 1,000 yards.
I don't know if Theo would make the top 10. I don't know if Theo will make the top 10. See, that's the crazy thing. It would be easy for a Notre Dame wide receiver to come in and make the top 5 wide receivers all time.
Will Fuller's in the top 5.
Will, Floyd, Golden,
Floyd,
Tim Brown.
Right there, Tim Brown, right there. You can't not say those.
That's four right there. Will, Tim Brown, Floyd, and Golden Tate.
Ishmael's in there.
Ishmael and Golden Tate. That's it. That's it. That's the 5. That's it. That's the 5. That's the 5.
It's over quick. Yeah.
Yes, Vegas Ferguson would definitely be in the conversation for the running back. He definitely would. Him and Alan Pinky. Definitely.
Man, yeah, the receivers is locked up.
Locked up. That's not even debatable. Yes, the top 5 wide receivers at Notre Dame are locked up.
You can't even sneak nobody in those.
Nah. And I know there are previous players that were good, like Gatewood. But dude,
Will's got to be top just because Will was literally like, yeah, he was a first-round pick.
Now, I'll say this. I would say, this is my personal opinion. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. I was about to tweet. I was about to tweet. I would rank Tim Brown would be number 1 for me. Yes. Tim Brown would be number 1 for me.
Yes.
He's number 1 wide receiver.
Tim Brown's number 1 for sure.
He's number 1.
Floyd has to be 3 because accomplishments and talent.
No.
He's got to be 3.
He had 100
receptions, 1,000 yards.
Disrespectful.
100 receptions, 1,000 yards.
I know, Lef. I know. But I feel like you did a little bit disrespectful. Because see, Rocket had Tony Rice as his quarterback, bro. If you put Rocket with like Brady Quinn, man. But I will put Will before Rock.
Yes.
I will put Will
As a
before
receiver,
Rock.
as a straight receiver.
Straight receiver, yes.
Straight receiver, yes.
Straight receiver, yes. I will put Lake Dawson would make my top 5.
Would make top 5.
Lake would be top 10.
Derek Mays is good though.
Derek Mays would definitely be top 10.
Top 10, absolutely.
Definitely be top 10. Samardzija would be debatable top 10.
But we're talking about top 5 guys that was asked to do everything.
Yeah.
Produced the most and was nationally an NFL top, ranked and drafted.
Yes. He said the Canadian guy. He's talking about Chase. He's talking about Chase New, the Canadian guy. No, Chase, he's not top 5.
Yeah.
No, I can't. D Mays was good, bro. D Mays was good, but was he Floyd Golden Tate good?
Floyd Golden Tate good is
Man,
that was top 5. It's top 5. Will was Golden Tate good.
I have to. If somebody took Golden Tate over Will, I wouldn't have a problem. Man, this is my point. It's all about preference. You get no argument from me. None at all. None at all.
The top 5 we named were the only targets too, though.
This would be the argument. Lake Dawson and Derek Mays did it when Notre Dame was definitely a run heavy offense. Definitely a run heavy offense. Definitely run. Man, I would love to get like CJ and Miles on to talk about top 10 wide receivers at Notre Dame.
Yeah, you gotta do top 10 out of respect.
Oh, heck yeah.
Top 5, you can leave too many people off.
But I think the 5 are solidified. And this is just my opinion.
The 5 are definitely solidified.
I think the 5 would be solidified.
Who's the top 5 tight ends? That's another tough one.
Ooh.
Eifrid's definitely in there.
Dude, you got to go up. I mean, you had cats like Mark Bavaro.
Eifrid and Michael Mayer have to be in there. Have to. Michael Mayer and Eifrid are 2 locks for top 5 tight ends. Kyle Rudolph is almost a lock. So that's 3. You need 2 more, and there's so many tight ends.
This is tight end bro.
Eifrid.
And we're just talking about strictly what they did. And we're talking about strictly what they did in college, right?
Yes, college, Eifrid and Michael Mayer got it.
Dude, Derek Brown was cold. Derek Brown was cold. Anthony Fasano was cold. That was Brady Quinn's boy.
Yep.
Anthony Fasano was cold.
Michael Mayer, Eifrid in there. You can't go without those 2.
I mean, Leon Hart, of course. People gonna say Leon Hart. That's showing
Irving
respect
Smith is in there.
Ken McAfee, definitely. You got to show love.
It's too many tight ends. A lot of tight ends.
Man.
You got Ben Koyak, Troy Nicholas, Brock Wright, Cole Kmet.
You said Kyle Rudolph already, right?
Yep, Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, I think Irv would definitely be top 10. You have Mark Bavaro. Kyle Rudolph, probably top 10, definitely.
Are you saying 10? We talking 5.
And you can't get like Tony Hunter. We forgot John Carlson.
John Carlson
is a beast.
Was a beast.
Dave Casper. Dude. Yeah. Hey, bro, this tight end debate.
Yeah, it could go on for a while.
Okay, would Tyler be number 1 though?
Eifrid, like ultimate tight end, yes.
The number.
Eifrid went to a championship.
Tim Brown's number 1 wide receiver.
Yes, number 1.
Right,
yes.
Hang it up. He's number 1 spot. Number 1 tight end spot.
Eifrid has to be. He was literally the reason why he went to championship. We got so dependent on him, we was just splitting him out by himself at one point. and he can block.
I would love to get Irv on to talk about that. Look, Tyler Eifert, the best all-around tight end at Notre Dame. It's either him or McAfee. It's him or McAfee. And this is the thing, Left. How good would Tyler Eifert had been if he played with third-year Av instead of freshman Av?
He played with third-year Tommy, and Tommy was his boy. Tight end just tough. Yeah, I think tight end just tough.
There's so many.
Mayer's in the top 5. I wouldn't say.
I don't know if Michael Mayer's top 5, bro. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Mayer's top 5. Mayer's McAfee, Eifert, Mayer, Hunter.
Jeez Louise, all these names.
Dave Casper would be top 5. And then from there, you're like battling between like John Carlson,
Kyle Rudolph,
and Derek Brown. And
Derek Brown.
Kyle Rudolph. Yeah, now it's a battle for that 5th spot, bro. Now it's a battle for that 5th spot. That's tough, bro. The fact that lets you know, the fact that I can stop and question whether or not Michael Mayer is top 5.
Yeah, you can question it.
Just shows you, like, man. But the fact Michael Mayer came in from the gate. And Michael Mayer, the quarterbacks he had throwing to him
was multiple.
But no, he started out with Jack Cohn. Not like I just said somebody that's dope.
Hey, listen, Jack Cohn.
Jack Cohn is he's the transfer standard.
Yes, he is. With another year, he might crack top 10. With another season like he had, he might crack the top 10.
Hey.
Low key. If he won that bowl game, we'd be talking about Jack Cohn a little different.
Yeah. He put up enough. Well, he didn't put up enough points because they lost, but the yardage was crazy.
Yeah.
Like D McCulla talking about Jeremiah Love, Left. This is what he's had to say about 12.
Physically, it's been really nice. I know he devoted himself to gaining, putting on the right type of weight for him to do what he needs to do at this position, as well as being able to do some things out wide. So we're not trying to overdo it with his weight. His approach to the game. Jeremiah is a perfectionist. He's been grading at 96, 97% these last couple of days of practice. Really been excited about what he's been doing and just his mental approach overall to the game. He has the physical skill, but then being able to take the things we're talking about in the classroom and apply them to the field, I think everybody will see the big jump in his growth this season.
Love hearing that. Love hearing that from that kid, man. The most underutilized weapon in Notre Dame's offense last year had to be Jeremiah Love. But all season, we were like, why are they ramming the ball inside with this kid? Why are they not throwing screens? Why are they not getting the ball in his hands in space? And then you see him in the Sun Bowl immediately get the ball in his hands in space, and it just didn't utilize the young man's talent to the max capabilities, in my opinion, Left. This year, I don't think they make that mistake.
They definitely don't make the mistake. And I think a lot of it is why, he should be the focus or X factor of the team. I think because he's the most equipped to do the most in space with this offense that Denbrock has. And he's the most capable. I think if we get him going, it'll get everybody else going. So I think that's where the benefit lies in doing that. But I also think that, Denbrock is going to be more creative in getting him the ball too, which is the most important part.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think which running back are you most excited to see?
Aeneas Williams.
I already knew your
That's
ass.
my dog. I already know.
I already knew your ass. Yeah, I don't know. I'm most excited to see Keydron Young. Especially after he was like, yeah, he just ran somebody over today in his first practice. I'm like, okay. Okay.
Aeneas got the touchdown though in the spring game. That's how you know. He's just around the football.
I'm excited to see the entire group. I'm excited. Literally, I'm excited to see Jeremiah finally being utilized. I'm excited to see JD. I think he's going to be even healthier in his second year back from the injury. And now he's going to take that next step forward. And then the freshman, I think, man, there's a reason to be super excited to see every single running back in the room, in my opinion, Love. Like, I'm excited about the entire running back room. Like last year, I think we pretty much knew it was Aldrick and the RBs, right? That was the name of their group. Aldrick and the RBs. They were the background singers, right? They was backup singers, the rest of the group. This year, it is like, yo, everybody in the group can, trying to think. Who would I compare them to? From an R&B group? They're like Boys to Men. Everybody can sing. And they're young. Woo! That's the name of the running back group. Boys to Men this year. Boys to Men. All right. B2 Men.
We like it.
I think that might be the nickname for the running back group this year. All young, inexperienced, JD, second year playing. B2 Men. I don't want to refer to them as Bone Thugs and Harmony. I don't. But yeah, last year was definitely Jodeci. Well, no, there were two members of Jodeci that could sing. Last year was the Jackson 5 for sure. Mike, and then everybody else in the background. So that was Al Golden talking about the defense, loving the linebackers, the young linebackers, the process, being stuck on the process and having to do that with players like Xavier Watts and having the responsibility of making them better. D McCulla talking about, development, how development starts off the field before it starts on the field. We expect our players to be unselfish in the running back room in Notre Dame. And then his love for the combination of Jadarian Price and also Jeremiah Love and how they give them a top two that's probably one of the best in the nation when it comes to top two running backs in the running back room. And then the excitement for everybody and laying out what everybody brings to that running back room. Once again, Aeneas, 400 pounds has to feel crazy, bro. Lifting 400 pounds off your chest, that's
not easy.
Forget being easy, bro. It just has to feel crazy. So were you better doing leg stuff or were you better like doing arm stuff when it came to like
I was better lower body?
Lower body? Yeah, I'm a lower body person myself, bro. I'm a lower body person myself. So when I hear people,
most black people are.
You think that there's something to that?
Yeah, I know there's something to that. It's gotta
I don't know. I've seen some pencil leg brothers, bro.
They fast.
Man, that put absolutely no work in on the lower body, bro, in the weight room. None. Walking around like this, just straight pencils down under. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, do something with the leg. Do some leg work. You look a little unbalanced. I don't think we have any more super chats or yeah, 400 is a lot of weight, bro. $400 is definitely a lot of weight. That's funny. Melissa, thank you for tapping in. She said, can we have all three on the field at the same time?
That's it right there.
You would put Jeremiah in the slot?
No, at running back. Aeneas that slot.
Put Aeneas in slot.
Jeremiah running back.
And then let Keedron be like a fullback type.
Jadarian as that like travel player.
Okay.
And then I might do two back, put Keedron back.
Look, left. This is straight out of Left's playbook, by the way. This is straight out of Left's.
It is.
I could tell this is out of his playbook, boy. You could just tell the light bulb went off like, oh, yeah. That's the perfect play. Perfect play. Seal the day. Yeah, you're right. Jadarian Price is definitely crazy. He's definitely crazy. Man, look, I'm excited about this running back room. I'm excited about the defense and what they can be year 3 under Marcus Freeman's system and this is year 3 with Al Golden as well. I'm sorry. Man. Michael said, go ahead, go for it and put Adrian Young in there as fullback as well. All right, Left, man, I got a baby shower to go to.
There we go.
I had a trunk party to go to. These trunk parties are becoming boring, Left. You know why?
Why?
Because kids just put their Cash App in their Zelle and want you to send them money, bro. Like the cool thing was like going out and buying something they actually can use.
Yeah.
You know, they actually can use. Nowadays, it's like, no, man, just send me money. So
I'm sure parents being lazy and giving them the cop out. Bring gifts back.
You played 25 yet? I haven't asked you yet. Have you played 25 yet?
All the time. I'm nice.
You nice?
Oh, I'm nice.
So I might have to smack you then.
No, listen, I'm nice.
I'm gonna have to smack you then.
Hey, listen, we can play. I'm just letting you know that I'm nice.
Hey, we're game casting this.
Yes, we will.
Yes.
That'll be on the side channel.
Yes. We're gonna use the Twitch feed. Go follow us on Twitch. Lucky Lefty Pod.
The podcast while we play.
Lucky Lefty Pod. Coming up before the season. Left and I are going to play. Now, neither one of us can use Notre Dame.
That's fair.
Neither one of us can use Notre Dame. Neither one of us can use Georgia.
I don't even play with Georgia.
I don't either.
Great.
I'm just specifying. Neither one of us can use Notre Dame. Neither one of us can use Georgia. I have a pretty idea. I'm about to scout you because I have a pretty good idea who you're going to rock with. Because I know you're going to be quarterback driven. I already know it's got to be a decent quarterback. You playing with a decent quarterback.
Listen, I
already know. I already know from the jump it's going to be a pretty decent quarterback you playing with.
It's going to be a lot of choices.
Yeah,
I know. Teams out there.
I know last year, let me see. If the game had come out last year, I feel like you would have played with Washington.
First team.
Duh. Yes. I already know. Left-handed quarterback, receivers. Yeah, you would play with Washington. And the playbook for Kalen DeBoer.
Yep.
It
would have been great.
Yep. And I tell you one team I won't be playing with, which is crazy because I took that bet with you. I will not be playing with Alabama. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no. Not if you want to lose.
No. And you know what? Have you played Ohio State yet? They have to be illegal on that game.
They got some cheating things going on, but you know, we'll see.
Their defense
they don't
has
put
to be
the real
great.
life Ryan Day in there. They don't put Ryan Day's coaching in there, so it's not as realistic. So you know, they added that. You know.
Oh man. And see, people say they're gonna watch it, bro. They say they're gonna watch it. We have to put it on. We have to put it on our Twitch page. Go follow us right now because we're on Twitch. We have not posted a lot of things on there, but yeah,
it's coming. No, the content is coming soon for sure.
So man, we should do a series then. We should do best of 5. Best of 5. Put all 5 on Twitch, and I'm gonna walk it off in game 5.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna walk it off in game 5. Punt return, a la Rocket against Colorado.
Yeah,
back in the day, without the penalty. Without the penalty.
That's right.
Penalty. All right, guys, man. Have a great Saturday. Don't forget Apple Podcasts over there and Spotify over there at CFB Nation. Tap in. Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. YouTube. Subscribe, share, hit that like button. Helps with the views. Leave your comments and questions. We respond to them all. Thank you for the GTB questions. And you guys have a great weekend. We'll be back with you Monday. I think the next practice access is Tuesday. So we'll get back at it. Yeah, we'll get back at it. We'll hear from the players because the running back spoke. The running backs actually spoke. So we'll hear from the players and talk about this team leading into the matchup with Texas A&M. Most of all, make sure you spin it different.